There's a weird phenomenon happening in retail right now. Millions of people have turned shopping at Costco into a lifestyle. Not just shopping, a lifestyle. On Instagram, there are accounts dedicated entirely to new Costco finds. These accounts have millions of followers. On Reddit, there are communities with hundreds of thousands of people comparing which Costco locations have the best deals. People literally travel to different Costco warehouses to check inventory. TikTok is flooded with videos of people unboxing their Costco hauls like it's a treasure hunt. But here's where it gets weird. Costco does almost nothing to create this culture. There's no loyalty program, no points, no gamification, no personalized emails, no influencer partnerships. Costco doesn't run ads. They barely engage with social media. The company actively discourages publicity, yet this cult following keeps growing stronger, more obsessed, more devoted. Compare that to Starbucks. Starbucks has a massive loyalty program, personalized drinks, limited editions, seasonal obsessions. They work relentlessly to create community. And yet, Costco's followers are more fanatical than Starbucks. So the question becomes, how did a warehouse that doesn't even try to create a community end up building the most devoted customer base in retail? And more importantly, what is Costco actually doing that creates this effect? To understand how weird this is, we need to look at how normal companies build loyalty. The traditional retail playbook is pretty straightforward. You create a loyalty program, customers accumulate points, points unlock rewards. This gamification, the psychological loop of earn, redeem, repeat, creates habit formation. Starbucks mastered this. Target has Red Card. Amazon Prime is basically a loyalty program disguised as a shipping service. There's also the community angle. Brands create experiences, limited editions, exclusive drops, seasonal anticipation, sneaker releases, coffee flavors, video game launches. The scarcity principle. When something's limited, people want it more. When it returns seasonally, people obsess over it. Companies spend billions on this psychology. Then there's aspirational marketing. You make customers feel like they're part of an in-group, premium memberships, VIP access, exclusive communities. The psychology here is tribal. People want to belong to something special. Most major retailers use all three levers: loyalty programs, community events, aspirational positioning. It's the standard playbook. The cost? Billions annually. Target spends roughly $1 billion per year on marketing and loyalty initiatives. Starbucks spends $600 million on advertising and marketing. Costco, by comparison, they spend essentially nothing on marketing. No loyalty program, no rewards, no community events, no influencer partnerships, no limited editions. If you follow Costco on social media, which most people don't, you'll see a company that barely fits. Costco's entire marketing budget is estimated at roughly $100 million for a company doing $250 billion in annual revenue. For context, Target spends about $1 billion on $100 billion in revenue. Costco is spending 10 times less. So the baseline expectation is clear. Companies that spend heavily on loyalty marketing maintain strong customer bases. Companies that don't. Costco doesn't. So logically, Costco shouldn't have a devoted following. Yet it does. More than competitors. And that's the paradox we need to understand. Let's look at the actual data on Costco loyalty. Member renewal rate, 90%. That's extraordinary. For context, Starbucks app users, people actively using their loyalty program, have about 65% repeat visit rates. Costco's renewal rate is 90% of people voluntarily paying $65 a year just for the right to shop there. And that number has been increasing. In 1983, Costco's renewal rate was 83%. It's only gone up. Now, Costco's membership isn't cheap, $65 to $130 per year, depending on tier. For a company with no rewards program, that's an insane retention rate. But it goes deeper than just renewals. Look at the communities that have formed around Costco. On Reddit, r/Costco has 800,000 members. They don't talk about deals, they don't use a promotional code, they share photos of new products they found, they post about limited time items, they speculate about what's coming next season. It's exactly like an enthusiast community for a brand that aggressively pursues community. On Instagram, accounts dedicated to Costco finds have 2 to 3 million followers combined. People screenshot the same products across multiple accounts. Comments are filled with, "I need to check my warehouse," and "Has anyone else seen this?" It's FOMO in its purest form. Fear of missing out on a product at Costco. On TikTok, #Costco. Haul videos have billions of views. People unbox their purchases like they're opening mystery boxes. The engagement is comparable to unboxing videos from expensive tech companies. One Reddit thread asked, "What's a Costco item you've searched multiple warehouses for?" It had 15,000 comments. People drove to different locations trying to find specific products. This is effort that most brands dream of their customers making. The comparison to Starbucks is instructive. Starbucks creates limited-time seasonal drinks. People camp online for pre-orders. They chase the drops. But here's the thing. Starbucks creates that scarcity intentionally. They design it. They announce it. They market it. Costco doesn't create that scarcity intentionally. It's a side effect of their business model. Yet the obsession is arguably stronger. And here's the kicker. Costco membership is increasing even during recessions. In 2020, when people were terrified of spending, Costco renewals increased to 92%. During inflation in 2022, even as retail declined, Costco renewals held at 90%. People voluntarily renew memberships even when they have less money. So, the reversal is clear. Costco has the cult following despite, or perhaps because of, doing the opposite of what the playbook says to do. And we need to understand why. So what's actually happening? Why does a company that ignores all the loyalty playbook rules end up with the most devoted customers? The answer lies in how our brains process scarcity and value. And Costco, probably without fully realizing it, has engineered their entire business model around the psychology of scarcity. Costco maintains only 3,600 to 4,000 different products at any given time. Walmart carries over 100,000. Target carries 150,000. Amazon carries millions. When you have fewer choices, something happens psychologically. Scarcity makes things valuable. This is documented extensively in behavioral economics. When options are limited, we value those options more. We think, if there are fewer choices, these must be the best options. Why else would they be the only ones? But it goes deeper. When you know that a product might not be there next time, you don't browse, you hunt. You're not shopping, you're foraging. Foraging triggers different parts of your brain than shopping. You become active, alert, searching. The experience is more engaging. This is why visiting Costco feels different from visiting Walmart. At Walmart, you know everything will be there next week. You can casually shop. At Costco, you're thinking, if I don't buy this today, it might be gone. That psychological state, that slight urgency, makes the experience stickier. Costco's inventory isn't just limited, it's also rotating. Products come and go. Sometimes a product is available for 2 weeks, sometimes 3 months. You might find organic blueberries 1 week and not see them for 6 months. This is genius psychology. Because when you don't know if something will be there next visit, you make impulse purchases. A market research firm, Numerator, found that Costco shoppers have a 40% impulse purchase rate. That means 40% of what people buy at Costco wasn't planned. They saw it. They thought, I might not see this again. They bought it. Compare that to Target, which has 15% impulse purchase rate. Walmart, 12%. This rotating inventory creates constant, low-level FOMO that translates to higher spending and more frequent visits. And here's what's important. Costco doesn't market this as a feature. They don't announce limited-time products. Customers discover them. They find them. Then they tell other people. That's when the word-of-mouth loop begins. Reddit threads, Instagram posts, TikTok videos. I found this at Costco becomes social currency. Costco stores are designed with wide aisles and high-low product placement. You can see across the entire warehouse. This encourages browsing. But the real genius is that new items are placed throughout the warehouse, not in one section. So every visit is a little treasure hunt. You go in for milk. You find something unexpected in aisle 7. You didn't know it existed. You weren't looking for it. But now you want it. This is classic treasure hunt psychology. The brain's reward system activates when you discover something. It's the same mechanism that makes people obsessed with video games, where they're constantly finding loot. A Costco shopper spends an average of 45 minutes per visit. A typical Walmart shopper spends 25 minutes. That 20-minute difference, nearly 2 times longer, is the treasure hunt. People aren't rushing. They're exploring. And exploration creates engagement. More time in store means more opportunities to discover. More discovery means more dopamine hits. It's a feedback loop that turns shopping into an experience rather than a chore. Here's where Costco's membership fee becomes genius psychology. When you pay $65 up front, you've made a commitment. Economists call this the sunk cost fallacy. You've already spent the money, so now your brain is trying to justify that expenditure. You think, I paid $65, so I need to shop here more to make it worth it. This isn't rational. The $65 shouldn't affect whether future shopping at Costco is a good decision. But psychologically it does. You're more likely to visit, more likely to justify purchases. It's worth it because I already paid for membership, and more loyal to the platform. Costco knows this. That's why they have a membership model instead of just opening to everyone. The fee isn't really about revenue. Membership only generates about 5 to 6% of Costco's profit. The real purpose of the membership fee is psychological commitment. By forcing customers to pay, Costco has essentially hacked the sunk cost fallacy. You're now invested. You need to get your money's worth. You shop more frequently, you buy more. You tell friends because you want them to validate your decision to join. You renew even in recessions because you've already committed. This is why companies with free tier products have lower loyalty than companies with paid tier products. Free feels temporary. Paid feels like commitment. Finally, there's the social identity component. Being a Costco member has become part of people's identity. I'm a Costco person means something. It suggests you're smart about money, savvy, part of a community that knows something others don't. This in-group identity is powerful. When you belong to a group, you defend it, you talk about it, you help others join, you share the secrets. Instagram Costco find accounts work because members feel like they're helping others join the secret club. And Costco hasn't tried to stop this. They could shut down these communities, they could trademark and restrict Costco find accounts. Instead, they let it happen organically. That organic growth makes the community feel authentic, not manufactured, which makes the in-group identity even stronger. Compare that to a brand that aggressively manages community. It feels corporate. It feels controlled. Costco's hands-off approach actually makes the community feel more real, more organic, more valuable. Now you might think, if this works so well, why don't other companies do it? Some of them try. Target reduced their product count and added more scarcity in certain categories. Walmart experimented with limited inventory on select items, but it hasn't worked the same way. Why? The difference comes down to authenticity and consistency. Costco's scarcity isn't artificial. It's structural. It comes from their business model. Limited selection is how they operate, not a marketing tactic they bolt on. When Target limits inventory to create FOMO, customers can sense it's artificial. It feels manipulative, because it is. Costco's inventory rotation isn't designed to create FOMO. It's a side effect of how they source, rotate, and manage products from hundreds of suppliers at massive scale. That authenticity matters. People's brains are highly attuned to marketing manipulation. When they feel like they're being sold to, they resist. Costco isn't selling them on scarcity. Scarcity just exists as a structural feature. That makes it feel organic. There's also a brand positioning issue. Costco has positioned itself as the insider's secret. Expensive, exclusive membership, limited selection. It's not trying to be everything to everyone. That positioning naturally creates in-group dynamics. Walmart, by contrast, is positioned as accessible to everyone. Low prices for the masses. When Walmart tries to create scarcity and exclusivity, it contradicts their brand. Their customers expect abundance and accessibility, not treasure hunts. Starbucks tried to create in-group identity through their app and rewards. But because it's free to join, it doesn't have the same psychological weight as Costco's paid membership. There's no sunk cost. People can easily opt out. Costco's $65 fee makes commitment tangible. There's also timing. Costco's loyalty wasn't built intentionally through marketing. It emerged organically over 40 years. That organic growth created authentic culture. When you try to engineer culture from scratch, like some newer retailers do, it feels forced. Costco's culture feels earned. So, we're back to where we started. Costco has accidentally created a cult following. But accidentally might not be the right word. It's more accurate to say Costco designed a business model that inherently creates the conditions for cult psychology. They weren't trying to manipulate emotions. They were just trying to run an efficient business. Sell limited products, rotate inventory, maintain membership. But those business decisions happen to trigger every psychological mechanism that creates loyalty. Scarcity creates value. Rotating inventory creates FOMO. Treasure hunts create engagement. Membership fees create commitment. Limited selection creates in-group identity. Most companies try to engineer these feelings through marketing. Loyalty programs, seasonal drops, limited editions, community events. They spend billions trying to hack psychology. Costco didn't need to. They just ran their business efficiently, and the psychology emerged as a natural consequence. Here's what's remarkable. As Costco's leadership has recognized this dynamic, they haven't tried to commercialize it. They haven't launched influencer partnerships. They haven't created official Costco Find accounts. They haven't started limiting products as a marketing strategy. They've just let the culture grow organically. That authenticity is probably why it works. If Costco suddenly became corporate about their community, the whole thing would collapse. The community exists because it feels authentic. The moment it becomes manufactured, the cult status would evaporate. In a weird way, Costco is the most loyal community in retail, not because they tried to build one, but because they didn't. They just built a business that triggers loyalty as a natural side effect. And the irony, the beautiful irony, is that by ignoring every lesson from the traditional loyalty playbook, Costco created the most loyal customer base anyone has ever seen. Not through manipulation, not through marketing, just through efficient operations that happen to align perfectly with how human psychology works. Sometimes the best way to create something is to not try to create it at all.